story time with Josh. Just going through Facebook looking up girls I went to high school with. It's like I'm the only one from my graduating class that Father Time just kicked the living hell out of. You know, when I was a young lass, I did a lot of work for a mental institution. First as a patient, pushing a broom, then later on as a security guard who anally raped the patients with those huge pool thermometers. And then I worked for them as a clown. Now, this clown gig was this experimental project that was cooked up by the directors of the Joe Stecher Mental Health Institute. And the program didn't last long, mostly because I didn't really have an act. I mean, I'd put on some makeup and tell a few crappy jokes, but mostly I just laid on the floor and I would bust bags of grain, one after another. I'd put them in a scissors leg lock until, you know, these bags of barley would burst. You know, my hope was just to impress the patients, and I mean, I guess they were impressed by it. They didn't really say much. They didn't laugh. They didn't. I mean, there was no noticeable response other than them growing these immense throbbing erections, and they drool a little bit too. But there was one patient, and I've got to be careful here. I want to pronounce his name right. It was yahoomail. Yahoomail. I think he was from Israel. Could be wrong about that, but yeah, yahoomail. He liked my act. It made him smile and it gave him an erection. It's not exactly high praise, though. I mean, this guy, he was about as bright as a black hole. I mean, he regularly confused his own turds with toothpaste. I'm not kidding. Old yahoomail, he'd walk up to you with all this black goo smeared all over his face, and you'd be thinking that he got into the dark chocolate stash in the doctor's lounge. Then you'd get a whiff of him, and oh, this guy, he suffered from a condition known as SIBO, S-E-B-O, SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. So his feces was loaded with extra sulfur, and it smelled incredibly bad. Okay, I mean, it was, the best way I could describe it, I think, would be it smelled like fresh cat poop with sauerkraut and cough syrup poured all over it. It was just, whew. Even the nurses who were considerate enough to molest him in the beginning, you know, when he was first admitted, they wouldn't go near him after a while. So eventually they went back to drugging and molesting me, which it really brightened things up for me in an otherwise dark period of my life. I mean, my adult saga up until that point went as follows. I'd gotten out of high school, had a complete mental breakdown, tried working as a security guard, lost that job, and now, you know, I was failing at clownology. I thought I had no other option but to go back to school and blow my brains out in front of my old guidance counselor, and then boom, because of yahoomail brushing his teeth with his own poop, I've got several women pumping me full of drugs and forcing themselves on me. Older women too. I mean, it was perfect. Bill Murray in Caddyshack, that this would have been his idea of heaven. Yahoomail, he used to like watching YouTube videos of cockatiels whistling at girls' bare feet. So yahoomail, yeah, if you're out there and you find this video, thanks, bud. Thanks for the assist. And remember, your toothpaste is never brown. It's never brown, and it's usually stuck inside of a tube, okay? Nobody squeezes it all out for you and decides to keep it in toilet water instead of the medicine cabinet, okay? It's always going to be in the medicine cabinet, not the toilet water. And if toothpaste just isn't your thing, you know, you can brush your teeth with something weird. Just use chocolate instead. Girls like chocolate. They eat that stuff. Yogurt too. Yogurt. You ever see those commercials where women they're eating yogurt by themselves, barefoot on the couch, and they're just losing their minds over how good each spoonful is? You know, they've got that look on their faces that you used to get every time you'd cram toothpicks into your urethra. God, I hope you're still alive, man. You said you were going to work your way up to golf clubs, you know.